Monday, April 21st, 2025. Today was a rather quite unproductive day, to be honest, but I'm not gonna let that ruin my mood, because it is what it is. First of all, like, I woke up and then I started making food, and then I realized that the marinade I put my meat in was way too salty. So essentially, I didn't really eat anything, because I couldn't eat it, man. I couldn't eat it. That was kind of choking. And then I wanted to take a nap after that. So I tried to, right? But because of this smoke detector issue, like there's like this noise that I could hear quite loudly. Well, I was trying to take a nap on my sofa because there's no hot water in my unit. I wasn't trying to take a cold shower to go back to my bed. I wasn't trying to do that, so I was going to take a nap on my sofa, which is, I usually do that anyways, no big deal. But then the smoke alarm is making sounds, so I laid there for like 30 minutes trying to sleep, trying to take a nap. It just didn't work, so I just got up. I'm like, okay, this is not going to work either. So what would I do then? I'm not really sure what I did. Eventually I went to the gym. I was like, fuck it, this is not working. I'm just gonna go to the gym, do some cardio, work out, whatever call it. It is what it is, right? I'm at this point, I'm like tired, right? I can't really focus on much. There's no hot water, so I can't really nap in my room because of the noise outside the living room. Well, I can take a shower, but I didn't want to because it's cold. So it was just like very, very awkward day for me. But I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I went to the gym, and then I decided to just head back to Coquitlam earlier to just walk around Lafarge. Because it's a sunny day, might as well walk around the park. But today I felt quite cold as a person. I mean, like, not as a person, like physically quite cold. I think it's because probably didn't rest as well, because I think I naturally woke up quite early today and I couldn't go back to sleep, and I tried to take a nap, but the nap didn't work. And I didn't really eat much either because my food turned out pretty bad in my opinion. So all around, just like not it. But the interesting part about this, I guess, is I feel like I handled it quite decently, because of these principles that I've been trying to incorporate more in my life. Every time I'm feeling like shit, I feel like a shit. I feel like a shit. No, I feel like shit. It's usually because of negative thoughts, right? I mean, I naturally, physically, I feel like shit, but then just by physically feeling like shit, it can't really do much unless it's powered up with my thoughts saying like, oh my god, I feel like shit, this is shit, right? If I cut that off, I'll be like, I'm feeling like shit, but it's not that bad. I can handle that shit, I think, to an extent. Sure, it's like not good ideally, but it is what it is, right? So yeah, I think it's really interesting. Not really interesting, really quite, even though the day was not productive at all, like, not gonna lie, I think just my mental how I mentally kind of tried to approach it and like push away the negative thoughts was quite cool. I'm not cool, like. I mean, there's still some moments in time where like there's obvious, not obvious, there's a lot of times where trying to incorporate this, but sometimes it's just like your natural instincts kicks in way before, and it's like you naturally just respond and have these very fast thoughts, right? At least for me, like very fast thoughts, very fast feelings coming in, like very sharp negativity. And I can't really cancel it in time unless it's like a slow thought that I have internally. But if someone's like doing something, and then it's essentially needing a response from me, like versus just me thinking about something, it's like harder to kind of cancel that out. If that makes sense. But yeah, I'm quite tired right now. But I think the next step for this is building on this, because I feel like I could be in quite a neutral state, which is good, I think. But changing the neutrality to happiness is like, I think, something else. I guess I could just keep working on it. I'm still working on being more neutral, right? Like, especially when I'm feeling like shit. Like right now, honestly, kind of feel like shit. But I'm just trying to neutralize it. Even though it's like my body is physically like feels like shit. 'Cause I'm tired and shit. But I'll push through it, as always. Tomorrow is gonna be a great day. Negativity. Say no to negativity, man. I mean, I was looking at people's reviews on the book, and they're essentially, I think a lot of people are kind of misinterpreting, or like some people were misinterpreting the book and how it says, and because they were saying like this book says all negativity is bad, no negativity, which I don't think that's what the book is getting at. It's just like how to handle the negativity is what I mostly got out of it, not essentially saying negativity is bad. And negativity is like I'm pretty sure in the book it says it's like a natural part of life. It's just, it is what it is. It's not bad. It's like, it's just your human reaction, just how humans are. So I personally think this book is quite good. I do agree with some of the comments saying like the concepts are quite repetitive, but I actually kind of like that because it's like repeating. In my mind, I like how it's repeating essentially the same thing over and over again, because it kind of just reinforces the idea for me personally. It kind of reminds me about it, because theoretically you could just say something once, like one sentence, and if you really like break it down, really truly understand that sentence, that's probably the same as reading like 50 pages, right? Because there just could be so much minute details and like everything built within that sentence that you can further elaborate on. But I like it being elaborated on, because it provides me more clarity as someone that seeks clarity, and I like how it's written in like plain language. It's not some crazy like philosophical philosophical manner, where it's like equations and stuff. So I was looking at other books regarding happiness, and some people are talking about like equations and mathematical formulas and like historical philosophy and like just like it seemed quite complicated, right? But I feel like this is like very simple and quite to the point. And I read someone's comments, it's common sense, but sometimes you just need that reminder for the common sense to kick in. Like, sure, it is common sense, but a lot of stuff in life I feel like is common sense, but you just kind of forget about it over time. Like, for example, it's common sense that having clean water to drink is a privilege, right? Something like that. But you just over time you just forget about it, right? You might forget about it because you're just so, you just become overly, accustomed to it, and you're not as appreciative anymore, right? Especially if you're like born in that environment. Something like, being able to drive a car and get to point A to point B is like a wonderful thing. It's great. Stuff like that. It's common sense, right? But a lot of people just day-to-day driving, they won't like think about it. Like, I admit, like, I'm not thinking about it every time I drive, right? I don't even think about like being able to drive is such a privilege, because some people can't afford to drive, some people literally cannot drive due to different circumstances. Just something simple as that, as common sense as that, I feel like it's not really common. It is common sense, but at the same time it's not. I mean, it is, but it's okay for things to be common sense, because as long as you get something from it, I don't care if it's common sense or not. In that regards, if I'm getting something that I kind of forgotten and gained back, I don't think that's common sense, because I haven't like put it into, I'm not really aware of that like cognitively. It might be in the back burner of my head, but it's not in the front and center, right? So I think that's in a way like relearning. It's still learning, it's like relearning type thing. It's cool. But some of the concepts, some of the concepts are kind of common. It's like separate realities. Everyone else has a different realities based off how they view things growing up and stuff, and not to take anyone personal, because based on their reality, what they know is what they know. It's 100% correct based on them. That's honestly common sense, right? But just having that written out, it kind of just reconfirms with me like that is what it is. Like, I think that's helpful. But some other stuff like feelings and moods, I mean, that's also kind of common sense, but it's just kind of like expands on a little bit, which I think is kind of cool. So yeah, it's cool. I quite enjoy this book. It's a small book, not a lot of pages, which is good for me, and it's simple language. And some people I read, it's like they don't feel like it's that practical, but I think it's practical enough for me, because there's practical examples in a book of actual scenarios of how the principles could be applied and how people could have handled certain situations according to those principles. So I feel like that's practical enough for me. I don't know what people are saying in terms of practicality, like, and the fact that everything's so common sense and all the theories are so intertwined together makes it easier to remember for me, which is like common sense but practical at the same time. So I'm really hyping up this book right now really hard. Unfortunately the reviews weren't that high, but like, it is what it is. Like, yeah.